welcome back to M&M Shenanigans. I'm Jen and this is Anthony. Today we're going to be trying our couple of batches that we've been working on of different things. We finally ended up bottling our very first wine that we didn't mess up, so we're going to be trying that. This is our very first bottle. It's a little tiny, but I wanted to have something special for us to try. We're also going to be trying the 3 types of meads that we've been working on. Just a plain honey mead, then we have an orange mead, and then a blueberry mead, which came out to this really beautiful color right here.
I'm super excited.
So we'll get going first with our wine. We did chill it a little bit since it looks like more like a rosé kind of wine. Let's see here.
Because this is one of the first wines we did, the cork looks a little messed up because it was the first wine we corked as well. So we didn't know what we were doing. My little brother was actually the one who was corking them starting off while I filled them. And so now we get to learn how to do all this together because that's what this channel's about. Well, that's one thing we know not to do. Alright, so we do it again.
Hopefully
so
it won't break.
The problem that we just experienced is because when corks are put in there, when you first cork the bottle, you soak it to be, squishier? I don't know the proper term. But basically more like rubber, essentially, so you can squeeze it and it just bounces back. The reason for that is you can force it through a tiny hole, which is in the corker, to go into the actual hole of the bottle and position itself better. Once that's done, you're actually supposed to let it sit for about 3 to 5 days to let the cork dry out to properly set. Once it's properly set, then you actually lay down the bottles. If it's a corkboard cork instead of a synthetic cork, which they do have. But by laying it down, it'll keep the cork moist so that doesn't happen. But we've got the bottle open. And we get to pour it. If you could.
We are sporting our very favorite Fiesta Winery wines.
If you don't know who they are, go to Fredericksburg, Texas and look for Fiesta Winery. They're amazing. Every wine there I've tried, I've loved. They're the only winery that I'm actually a member of because it's the only place I've ever been to that I liked every single wine from them. Alright. So this is not going to be like all the fancy people taste testing. We're going to smell it. We're going to taste it. I'm not going to sit there and try and describe what it tastes like to you because I'm not that fancy. I'm sorry.
You'll get to see firsthand whether we get sick or not, if it tastes good or not.
We'll make sure to update you on the Facebook page if we get sick.
Alright, let's get started with our very first wine. This is going to be the Vintners that we started. It's Exotic Fruit.
It's by Wine Expert. So
Vintners Wine Expert?
Vintners Best is the brand of the hardware that we got. Wine Expert is the brand of wine.
It smells sugary.
It is a sweet wine, so it's definitely going to be sweeter.
Oh, I have cork in my drink.
Ooh. And we've already tried this before, but we tried it the day we bottled it. Didn't expect it to change at all.
Cold is good.
But yeah, it's
a little
delicious.
carbonated, which I don't mind it being a little carbonated.
That confuses me though because carbonation is not supposed to happen unless you use something to carbonate it with, or if you... Let's see if I can remember how to explain this.
It tastes like those strawberry kiwi Kool-Aid packs.
Capri Sun?
Oh yeah, the Capri Suns.
Yes, it definitely has what they call exotic fruits. I know I saw kiwi, pineapple, mango, and some other stuff on it, maybe some melons. Definitely delicious, but it shouldn't be able to carbonate because carbonation comes from fermentation of the sugars, which in a previous video where we showed you racking the wine, we tossed in chemicals called potassium sorbate and potassium metabisulfate. Now the purpose of those is to sterilize and kill off any yeast, which is why we waited a day, and I mentioned this in the video, we waited a day to go back and sweeten it. because we wanted all the yeast to be dead before we sweetened it again so it wouldn't keep fermenting. We also degassed it so it shouldn't be carbonated.
It's just got a tiny bit. Like if you let your soda sit out for part of your day, just a tiny bit. Good enough to finish. And I know we didn't get sick from that one.
Yeah, we've already tried it.
We already tried it.
That was
What's
delicious.
up next?
All right. Very next one is Mead number 1. It's just a traditional honey mead. So, ooh, I definitely smell it.
Ooh.
Spin.
I smell the honey. I hope that didn't just burn my nose hairs.
I smell alcohol and honey. Now, I will explain this. Mead it's a beverage that needs to age, whereas this one does not. Mead is something that they age from sometimes as little as 4 to 8 months if it's a really low ABV alcohol content. It's something that there's some people that age it for 20 years. So the longer it's aged, the better it tastes. This might not taste great. I'm not trying to taste it to see if it's something I would want to drink right now. I'm really tasting it to see, is it still sweet at all? Like, can I actually taste any of the flavors of the honey? Or is it something that I can't?
I can definitely smell the honey.
I definitely smell it.
We want to have this ready for the local Ren Fest that's in Texas. So there's a lot. Texas is big. So, okay.
Oh my god.
Woo!
It's definitely more like a dry wine, a dry white wine. It's still a little sweet though. So if you haven't heard about how we test the gravity and the alcohol content, you use a hydrometer to measure the gravity. The gravity is based on a hydrometer, which I might actually have right here. So this was actually in a bottle of sanitizing fluid. Hydrometer works like this. It's weighted down here. This is full of air. Now, as the liquid can be dense based on the sugar content, the more dense it is, the higher, or the further out it'll stick. So with more sugar, it'll be higher. Now, this is numbered in a specific way to measure that gravity. Now, the higher the gravity, the thicker it is. The lower the gravity, the lower it is. Now, water reads about 1.000. From that, you add sugar, in this case honey. Now, I want to say this one measured at about a 1.085 when I started it. It measured at 1.00 right now. I'm not sure the exact alcohol content. I'll make sure to put a little note down here somewhere to tell you what exactly it came out to. But below 1.0, it becomes a dry wine, plain and simple. So this right here is... it's a pretty dry wine, but it still has a little bit of sweetness to it, which I actually really like. I like it like it is, so I might actually kill off the yeast right now and just leave it as is.
How can we do that? Just
the
throw
potassium, or the potassium sorbate and potassium metabisulfate that I bought.
I think it's perfect right now.
Perfect. I will definitely be doing that. Now, it hasn't cleared up. One of the things, and I'll post a picture in just a second as well, but one of the things about mead, it doesn't need to be clear. It doesn't affect the flavor from what I've read, but it does make a prettier bottle if you can see straight through it like a clear white wine.
Since we've never had mead, we went ahead and went to our local liquor store, and we found one of the only bottles of mead I've ever seen in my life. And we tried that the other day, and we really liked it. And it was completely clear. It was a golden white wine. It was good, but it was way too sweet. I'm talking like soda sweet. Like McDonald's or McDonald's sweet tea sweet. It was diabetes in a bottle. But it did have good flavor to it. I just wish it had like a quarter of the sugar. But this is like a good white wine, dry white wine. This is not my cup of tea, but I will definitely try it again once we've aged it.
Exactly. Once we've aged it, a lot of the flavors should come out, and the alcohol itself will kind of, I guess, fall to the background. I'm not sure the proper term for it, but become hidden. Like, you'll taste the flavors more than the alcohol itself. Now, again, this is a very new mead. It's very young. It's not aged at all. I really just wanted to test the gravity of it and see if it was done, which it is. So I might back sweeten it a little bit, but not much, if any. It's really good the way it is.
Okay, our next
All right.
one is orange, and oh my gosh, I love these cups. I don't know if you can see. They bend, so they don't break, and they even have a little notch for you to hold your phone. Put your thumb and your finger there. So
this is an orange Mead. Now, when I measured the gravity on this one, I mentioned earlier that the previous one was 1.000. It's just a flat, pretty much water reading. This one came out to 1.03. So it has a lot more sugar in it still. A good long ways to go. Hoping that the orange really comes through in it. This is more like the Mead that we bought. The sweetness of it.
this tastes almost identical.
Yeah, except the other one had no orange in it. I can actually taste the orange in this. I can smell the citrus.
I don't taste the orange.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Well, I'll be making sure the next time I make a batch of it, I will be using... So one of the things I learned was pectic enzyme is a chemical you can buy. It's found in nature, but what happens is it actually helps to break down the fruit particles, the fruit cells. So when you have like an orange or lemon or anything, even apple, it'll help to break down the physical structure of it so it releases more juices, and it also helps to clear that debris and let it sink to the bottom. I did not do that in this one because I didn't know about it at the time. So had I done that, it would have really helped that orange to release a little bit more of the juice, and I really wish I had done that. But it is still pretty good. It is really sweet. I might let it go for another week or two and test the gravity again, see if it's a little bit lower, and just keep it there.
I think that would be good for this one.
Yeah, it's definitely sweet.
Whew.
Yeah. I'm not even going to finish that. That's...
Okay.
All right. Last is my personal favorite. I'm hoping it is at least. It's the one I'm most excited for. Blueberry for me, I love blueberries. It's one of my favorite fruits. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking of blueberries and honey and just the flavors that they have. Really hoping it has a good combination.
Out of all of them, the blueberry mead has been the most active. And I don't know if that's because of blueberries.
So I actually read up on it.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the pictures that I saw online and a lot of what I read was saying that blueberries are a natural nutrient for yeast. So one of the things I've talked about before is raisins. When making certain meads or wines, you need a nutrient for the yeast to become happy, to start fermenting faster, as well as more effectively. I had a pound of blueberries mashed up in there, so it kind of went crazy.
Those are having a party in there.
I'll see if I can add like a clip right here about like what happened essentially. But apparently overnight, in less than 12 hours, it got so active, it foamed over the carboy and out the airlock. So I had to clean that mess up before work. That was fun.
I'm very glad that we laid a tarp down here in the room that we're going to be working in. Because we've had some spills.
That was my idea.
We ended up getting a really giant tarp. We could probably cover like a sedan with it.
Yeah. I want to say it's like a 10 by 14 or something, but it's big enough to cover most of this room. I had to actually fold some under. But I'm excited. I want to try this. So, it smells very nice.
I don't know if my nose hairs are burnt from the first one.
I can smell the alcohol in it.
I
It
can
definitely needs
smell
to
the
age.
alcohol. Woo! But I can't smell blueberry and I couldn't smell orange in the other one.
Now, this one, the gravity went down to 1.01, so again, it's closer to being a dry as the first one, but still a little bit higher with the sweetness, and it's much lower than the orange mead. So, oh my goodness.
This one's my favorite.
This one is by far my favorite. I'm making another
Mm-hmm.
batch. I'm going to make a much bigger batch. I'm probably going to make a 3-gallon batch.
I don't know if I don't taste the blueberry, but it definitely settles down the honey flavor that the first one had, and I really like that. It tones it down a lot. The blueberry and the honey, it really goes well together. Whew, I feel like I'm smelling rubbing alcohol.
I think it's also because we haven't degassed it. Now, I haven't degassed it because I didn't want to remove any of the carbon dioxide right now. I
Haven't
want
had any dinner.
I didn't want to introduce any oxygen to it at this point because it is pretty low and the yeast is already moving, so I wanted to just leave it as it is. It'll automatically, over time, degas itself, but currently I just wanted to let it sit and not have any additional oxygen introduced to it. It's going to age for months
This tastes
in those
like
carboys.
if sangria and a liquor had a baby.
So awesome is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
She said it's awesome. And it was my idea.
I'm clearly the lightweight in this relationship.
That was amazing.
But it was really good. I really am excited to see what these are going to taste like once they're done. And hopefully we'll get to share them with all of you guys and our friends during the next Run Fest. We really want to get some steins or like a horn to drink out of. That would be really cool.
That would be so much fun.
Hey guys, we've made a little wardrobe change because it's actually a week later than when we originally did our tasting of all our batches going on. We had some technical difficulties. The camera that we use, we never know when it's going to stop. We don't know if it's like because of memory or battery. Don't know. So this is the little part that you missed, was just after we did all our tastings, what we thought. We believe we started off with the wine that is finally all nice and done. Loved it.
It was amazing.
I will definitely want to be making that again. We have quite a bit of bottles. We've been letting people try it. We're really proud of that. The next is probably just the original Mead, which is honey wine. Plain honey wine. I don't remember. I remember they were all pretty strong. All four of our meads that we had.
So one of the problems that or not problems, but one of the things we noticed, and it's expected, especially with mead, mead is a product that needs to age. For the most part, it's not something you should be drinking right off the bat. Doing a taste test for me was more just to taste the potential in what it could be, because even with, what they call a young mead or not aged, it still has, like the flavors, it still has the aromas. The only difference is it's still more harsh because you can still taste the alcohol like straight in there. It's not like blended together, it's not like melded together. So,
it was strong.
So yeah, the mead, the first one was really strong.
So the third one we tasted was the orange mead, where Anthony did taste some more of the orangey notes. I did not. I do remember that part. Same thing. It was strong, but it was a little sweet because it wasn't quite done fermenting, and we've had to play around with it a little bit, but I think we're going to finally let that we're going to let it go. We're going to just wait a little bit, have some faith on it.
The blueberry mead we did, that was the fourth one. I think that was the fourth tasting. That one was really good. That was by far my favorite.
I'm so excited for that one.
I'm super excited.
Can't wait to bottle it, let it age, and see what that comes out like, because already it was delicious.
Without aging.
We actually, in between the two videos, we went to a wine kind of event where we tried blackberry mead from a local meadery here, which is Texas Mead Works. Their blackberry mead was so delicious.
It's out of this world good.
Oh my goodness. So I have really high hopes for our blueberry one, and I definitely want to try doing a blackberry one later. We've been asking you guys what different flavors we should try out, and I've been really surprised to how many people actually drink mead, know about mead. I had no idea. We met some people last night. Wife drinks mead, no wine.
Loves mead.
It's so fascinating to me, like, now that we're learning all these things. So if you guys want to put in your ideas over there. We're going to try blackberry next.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry about this whole extra piece, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to have anything, or if you have anything to say, make sure to put a comment below. I'm going to have a link to my Facebook page as well in the description. If you can follow us there if you'd like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you can know when we upload more content. We'd love to see you. We'd love to have you see our updates on the mead, the wine, the kombucha, everything. It's been a lot of fun, and I want to be able to share that with you guys. So definitely just tell us how you feel in the comments below. Have a great day.
Bye.